Hi everyone. Thank you so much. I know this is your last session, so I will try and make it interesting for you. I think I should add value to you. That's what I was very conscious of, especially it being the last session. And you know, it is true that Kochi. I love Kochi. I think I wanted to get my family this time because it was also an opportunity, because it was a Saturday, Sunday. But be that as it may, I'm very happy to be here. Um, you know, I think I must talk to you about what I've been reflecting on, given how well our markets have done. We are very lucky to be in India. India has done extremely well as an equity market. For the last 18 months, our markets have been on a ferocious rise. Of course, somebody would say the last 4 years since the COVID, the equity markets have done extremely well. Um, so we're very lucky. It's in a phenomenal bull phase. But I just thought that I would take an opportunity to kind of reflect on where we are. I was reminded of a story in Panchatantra. So let me just start with a story. It's always good to start with a story, and let us learn from that story from Panchatantra. So there were these four people who were very poor, and they were feeling quite hopeless in life, and they didn't know what to do. Um, as they said, let's migrate to another location. Raise the voice. So they said, let us migrate to another location. Given where we are not able to. So anyway, so basically, it's about these four people who are poor and they wanted to migrate to another location because they thought they didn't have, any money and no fortune where they were. So they go to another location, and then they find some kind of a hermit, and the hermit kind of starts talking to them, and he says, "What are you looking for?" And they say, we don't have anything, and we wanted to change our fortune. So that's why we are heading in this direction, and we'll see what it evolves. So the hermit says, what I'll do is I'll put a magic potion, and I'll give you 4 cotton bits, uh, kapus, just say that, cotton, right? And you guys just travel in any direction you want. And whenever your cotton actually drops, dig there, you'll find a fortune. So they go, the 4 of them all go together. In few days, one of the wigs drops. The guy digs, he finds copper. He finds a lot of copper. And, he says, it's enough copper for all of us. We should not go any further. Yeah, the 3 of them say, no, this is, you are entitled to this. Your cotton fell. We are going ahead. So a few days later, the second guy's cotton fell, and he dug, and he found silver there. And then he said, there is enough silver for all of us. We should stop here. So the 2 of them say, no, this is your silver. Let us carry on even more. Then a few days later, the 3rd cotton falls, and when they dig, they find lots of gold. And that guy says, no, it is enough. We have enough gold for all, both of us. Let's stop here. The 4th guy says, can't you see what is happening? First it was copper, then it is silver, now it is gold. If you go further, we may find diamonds and pearls and all that. So I am going. This guy is so tired and hungry, but he still wants to go and find more. So he goes somewhere and he finds a guy with a chariot wheel on top of his head. He's bleeding and he's in pain. And he says, he asks him a question or something like that. And the wheel actually comes back to this 4th person, and it goes on his head. And he said, what just happened? He said, just like you, somebody had given me the magic potion to find riches. And even when we got gold, we were not happy. We wanted more. And to the extent now that you are now going to face the burden until somebody else comes who has excessive greed. So, the insight that I take from the story is we have done extremely well. But when I talk to people now, MFDs tell me, or even family offices tell me, give me a product that is going to give me 60% return, 100% return, right? So we are not happy with what we have got already, right? We've got gold. But no, I don't want to stop here. I want to take higher risk. It's not enough that your fund is generating only 35% return. Why don't you give me something that is giving me 70% return? So it's a sign of times, and there is so much wisdom in our past. So, I just think that I think the job of a mutual fund distributor, the first I think is, whatever I can make out from my experience, is controlling the emotions of the investor. And I think it's a serious message that we must give to people that if you get gold, and India is already giving you gold, be happy, make sure your risks are measured, and you're not going overboard with your risk profile. So I just thought I'll share that story because that's something that I come across very often. Everybody's still looking for another riskier product in the market. Okay, so with that story, I think one thing I want to talk to you about is consumption. I think we are used to this bull market, which is an extremely capital expenditure driven bull market. I think the bull market foundation in India was thanks to what happened post-COVID. How did our government react to the COVID crisis? Do you know, in the developed world, when COVID took place, what the American and the European governments did was they distributed money to everybody. No questions asked. In fact, even illegal immigrants in America. They said, if I just distribute people money, because the economy is closed, nobody will die of hunger, we will not have social problems, and so on and so forth. What India thought was very different. India said that, yes, I will give 80 crore people free food. So we are giving 80 crore people free food even now, right? But I will use my resources to invest in infrastructure. So if you notice, since 2020, the government capital expenditure towards investment has gone up to a 20-year high. The railway capital expenditure has gone up to 10 times. Roads, etc. That's where we focused on. So of course we are seeing the benefits of that, right? The capital expenditure cycle. A lot of stocks have done well. But somewhere you kind of hear that consumption is not doing well. There was Bajaj Auto that declared its results, and suddenly we felt, they are not declared good results. Nestle has declared results. Consumption is a weak area. But look a little from a distance and you'll see what I mean as to what is happening in India. And that's something that you must understand to understand the opportunity that consumption will offer in India. Do you know which is the maximum population country in the world? Anyone? It's not China. It is India. Ekdam number one. We are number one in population in the world. There is no other country which has surpassed us in population. We are number one. But fortunately, we are also a very young country. 50% of our population is less than 35 years old. That is very good. Do you know what is the most important factor for driving GDP, which is growth of the country? Demographics. Population, the right kind of population. If you have the right kind of population, that is what leads to the growth of GDP in the country. And we are the sweetest spot. Not surprising then, we are also the fastest growing economy in the world. So that India is in a sweet spot and it will remain so. China, with its one child policy, is aging. Europe is aging. Japan is aging. US is aging. Korea is aging. India is among the largest countries, the only one which is young and will remain so for the next 20, 30 years, which is a fantastic advantage. Now, how does that translate into consumption for us, right? There's so many young people. I'll just give you names of companies which have done well in the consumption sector. Titan, everybody's heard of Titan. Trent, Zomato, Indigo, Bharti Telecom, right? All of these are massive wealth creators, right? Indian Hotel, right? Massive wealth creators. Where are they? They are consumption-oriented companies in India. Let me give you some data. The number of people who are making 8 lakh rupees and above in India today, just 8 lakhs, is 4 crore people. That's all. Out of 1.4 billion people, only 4 crore people. So if you look at it, 4 crore people travel by airline. 4 crore people are in the mutual fund industry. Right. 2 crore, 2.5 crore people order from Zomato. So this is the spot. But that 4 crore number is growing at 13 to 15% per annum. So in the next few years, that 4 crore will go to 10 crore. Can you imagine what will happen to all of these companies that I talked about? They will multiply. So this consumption trend, young country, already the fastest growing, GDP growing at a faster pace, that 4 crore becoming 10 crore, it's going to lead to a massive consumption boom. What's happening to real estate? Consumers, right? Hospitals. I'll give you a statistic. India is considered a young country, I just told you. Do you know how many people are there with 50 years and above in India? 30 crore people. Do you know what is the population of Germany? 8 crore working people. That's it. So we say Germany is an aging country, India is a young country, but because it is so large, we have 30 crore people with a population with an age of 50 and above. What does that mean? Even hospitals is a growth business in India. That is the kind of opportunity that we are talking about. So the point I'm making is that I think as you move forward, there is going to be a phenomenal growth in a lot of businesses that we have already witnessed, but this is just the beginning. There is many things that are going to happen, as you move along. Fortunately, apart from the demographics, we also have fantastic balance sheets. So, across the world, we are probably one of the best balance sheets in the world. Corporate balance sheet, bank balance sheet, government balance sheet, consumer balance sheet. When you have a strong balance sheet, your foundation of growth is very strong. So we are also equally lucky to be not as leveraged across all of these parameters, which means the foundation for India's growth is going to be fantastic. This is something, again, very, very unique. I was in America just 3 weeks ago, and I spoke to an 80-year-old white gentleman, and I was telling him how India responded to the COVID crisis, just like I told you. And he was telling me we had to send checks. The government had to send checks to people. And I told him, because of the Jan Dhan account, everybody has Aadhaar, everybody has mobile telephony, everybody has bank accounts. With a click of a button, the government of India sent money to people who needed it. And he was just surprised. He said, my God, that's first world infrastructure, right? So the type of digitization that we have done, thanks to Mr. Nandan Nilekani, you are able to build a business around it. You travel by Uber, Ola, right? How does that happen? On a mobile telephone. You transact on banking applications on the phone. You order Zomato, a huge business. The market cap of Zomato is closer to 2.5 lakh crores, 2 to 2.5 lakh crores. A business has been created, all digital. Nykaa, all digital, right? There are so many businesses, Paytm, all digital. Thanks to the infrastructure that we have, we are able to touch 1 billion customers on the mobile telephone. And do you know what our mobile rates are? The lowest in the world. You can create a business around it. And it's like a platform business. You can expand at any rate you want. Blinkit is growing at 80 to 100% a year, which is part of Zomato. So can you imagine the opportunity to build business around consumers because you have this technology platform which is so unique to India. So I think the point I'm trying to make here is that you have the fastest growing economy in the world, the largest population in the world, the youngest population in the world, the largest expansion in people who are wealthy, which is going to lead to a massive consumption rise. What does that mean? Economic growth is equal to sales growth, is equal to profit growth, is equal to share price growth. There's a lot of money that is to be made in the consumption opportunity in India. So, I can tell you, this is a platform, I can tell you, one Titan made a guy like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. One Titan, I think invested 100 crores or something like that. It's probably 15,000 crores today for him. So there are those kind of opportunities of wealth creation that are just waiting to happen as far as India is concerned. So, I think that's the summary of what I want to tell you. Of course, you are also experiencing this rise of the wealth of the country, including the rising financialization of savings. So India is again unique. We save 25% of our GDP at the household level. And that's phenomenal because we are a $4 trillion economy. 25% means we have $1 trillion of savings. That's very, very large. And of that, some part is coming to the mutual fund industry, which you are benefiting from. That trend is going to continue into the future. So what I want to leave you with is, we are in a very good spot as far as India is concerned. Strong balance sheet, young nation, very high growth in income levels. Wealth effect, my apologies, I forgot to tell you. Do you know how much has gold appreciated in 4 years? It has actually doubled. Do you know which country owns the largest amount of gold in household? India. 25,000 tons of gold we have in India. Do you know what is the value of that? Close to $2 trillion. Equities has gone up. Gold has gone up. Real estate has gone up. Can you imagine the wealth effect of people in India? It's massive. Lot of good times ahead for all of us to come. On that optimistic note, thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure being here, and I look forward to coming here again and again. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh Bhatia ji. Kindly be there, sir. Can we have Mr. Ranjan Sarkar, Senior Vice President, South and East of ITI Mutual Fund, to join Rajesh Bhatia, the CIO of ITI Mutual Fund? How can we forget our good friend Ranjit Shashidharan, the regional head for ITI Mutual Fund in Kerala? Again, time for lucky draws.
One one two. 112. 112. 463. 210. 210. 210. 179. 179. 371. Again 371. Aha, Samkoshi. Come, come.
We have 117.
Thank you, Rajesh Bhatia ji. Can we have Dhanya VR from Trivandrum to kindly come forward? Dhanya VR Trivandrum to do the honors of handing over a small token from our side to Rajesh Bhatia ji.
Thank you, AIFA. Just wanted to say that from 2019, when ITI started, that day we were associated with AIFA, and we wish more successful Ignite yet to come, and we will participate in that. Thank you very much.